I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
Give me some sugar.
Say hello.
I see you coming down the
What's
aisle.
up there, call boys?
Break me in the mouth. Yes.
You have Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunnar, also known as Chico Noise, three-time podcast host. And alongside me, as always, it's Juan, Golden J, 4-3. I'm kidding. It's just Golden J, the Emperor. Colton is out sick. And the Emperor and I have something that we want to talk about. So,
It is I, Golden J for 3.
just mix like Golden J for 3.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah.
love that. He'll love that Colton Juan Keel guy. He'll love it when I be throwing down that I am in the hot seat.
The hot seat. And here's I completely forgot that you said 6. And we're recording this on Thursday at 6, and Colton and I usually record at like 8:30.
Yeah, I know, right?
He didn't call me, and I didn't text him. So he's gonna be listening to this on Monday like oops.
Oh man, sorry man. It's in Golden Jay's world, there's a lot going on. We actually recorded 2 episodes of Two Soft last night, and I've got you asked me to do this, and then I also have to record the other side later tonight with just Logan. So it's just been a busy couple days for the old emperor here. So I appreciate you being able to move your schedule around to accommodate me a little bit.
No problem for me. Sarah spent her whole day at your house waiting
Man,
around the package to deliver.
I cannot express how grateful I am and how pissed I am that they showed up at 5 minutes before the deadline.
Yeah.
Because they emailed me and said, "Hey, your package will be there between 11 and 3," and they showed up at like 2:56 or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
that's what she said.
Ah,
So she just got home. We ate a quick dinner. I had dinner ready when she got here, and
oh, that was nice of you.
yeah, I was more so thinking I gotta eat before 6. But if
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
eat before 6, I'll be eating at like 8. So
I had a quick sandwich. I hadn't eaten anything since about noon yesterday, so I had a quick turkey sandwich just to tide me over. I haven't got to the ribs, so Sarah left me some ribs, so I'm looking forward to that. Was
nothing
that
was better. Nothing was better. That's because we thought that her dad came to see Sophia.
right?
He was down, or he was working closer to us, so he drove down. Which is surprising because usually he flies down and I
Right.
pull in and there's an electric bike in my garage. This time there was a Tesla parked in front of my garage. I was like,
That
oh,
had to
he
feel
drove.
weird.
He drove. That was weird. So he was here all day yesterday, and Sarah had started smoking the ribs at like 10:30, and I finally pulled him off after they were finished, and he was getting ready to leave. I was like, not staying for dinner, and he's like, no, I gotta get home. He's driving all the way back to Midland,
Right.
so it's like a 4-hour drive at 6:30 in the evening, and he's like, we'll have some of those ribs. I've been smelling them all day, so he smothered his face in barbecue sauce.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was. He was like, these are so good. I was like, your dad did a good job.
I'm excited to see, that he can come down and spend the day and with Sophia because, they do live so far away, and me and your mom are spoiled in the fact that we can see her whenever, and I always feel for him and Sarah's mom that they live so far away that, you know, they don't get a ton of chance to come see her, and so yeah, I was thrilled when he made it down, and I get a chance to talk to him last night for a couple of minutes, which was really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
exciting stuff.
good times he was here to spend some time with her and Sarah. Sarah worked all day, so she was down here, moved her office over there. So
Yeah, it looks good too, by the way.
it turned out pretty good.
It did. That
Now
most definitely.
on to the next 10 projects we have.
Yeah. Don't I know that?
Yeah.
Mine was a remodel of the bathroom over the weekend,
Yes.
which turned into what we'd hoped to be maybe a 4 or 5 hour job turned into a 12-hour job
Every time.
every time. But it's done. Looks good.
And it does look good. It feels bigger.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. I like looked at it and I was like, when you sent the picture with everything out of there, I was like, the bathroom's actually a pretty good size.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
always felt small.
I wanted to add a second vanity, but your mom wasn't down for that. She's like, we really don't need that. And I'm like, oh, but think about it. Two sinks, maybe, you know. She's like, no. I'm like, okay. How about a new shower? Walk in, glass doors. No. Okay. Just a new toilet and
New
and some
toilet,
flooring.
new flooring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, good
it
stuff.
looks really good.
A
Did
lot
a
of
good
work.
job. Good
Thank you.
job.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Emperor.
Yep.
Don't have to ask what you've been up to, what you've been watching.
Oh, let me tell you what I watched this week, and let me tell you my opinion on it.
Let's hear it.
So after last week's Call Guys episode of Certified Rotten
Mm-hmm.
and the brilliance of Hot Rod, yeah,
Yeah.
no, not brilliant. That was a complete, utter waste of my time. uh, no, all due respect to Jake, I know that it was one of his favorite movies, but Colton, suck it. It was terrible, and I only part that I liked in this whole entire movie was when Bill Hader took the acid and he got the damn uh
That's
thing
all.
stuck in his eye and he was like totally tripping because I don't even know where I am. Is this a hospital? And he's no, it's a wastebasket. Oh, okay. And then the last little bit you get him inside the door and the nurse tried to help him and he's dodging her and I love Bill Hader. I think he did
Oh
a
yeah.
he was amazing in that movie. But in a whole, I just did not enjoy that movie. I just to me, we talk about opinions. My opinion, that movie was trash. It was just trash.
It's one of those that I have mixed opinions about, that's for sure. I mean, I can watch it and I enjoy it. And then I almost hesitated to watch it this time around because I couldn't remember if I would like it or not. I did hear from Lorena at work today, and when I were walking into work, and she's like, I watched Hot Rod after you guys talked about it. And she laughed through the whole thing. But
Did
she
she?
said her husband thought it was the dumbest thing he'd ever watched. So it definitely
I,
has a
it,
certain.
it is from the mind of Andy Sandberg, and you can tell. I mean that is just his take, and I know that your co-host is a big fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Mhm.
and that's probably why I don't really watch that show because I mean I don't mind Andy Sandberg as a side character, but just as a main guy, he just doesn't fulfill my need for a lead actor. And I absolutely love everything that he's done with Lonely Island. I think that shit is amazing, and I can listen to Lonely Island all the time. I don't know whether that's because he collabs with his other members or even with Justin Timberlake or whatever, but I like that part of Andy Sandberg. I just don't care for him as a lead actor. So
The only the movie that really really enjoy is That's My Boy. I think that's a really good one, but that's also him and Adam Sandler, and
Sandler, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's just a fun movie.
And I love Adam Sandler too. Don't get me wrong, but there some of his stuff is just a miss too.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, it's just what was it? What was the eight one with
The Ridiculous Six.
the ridiculous six. Yeah, that's what it was. Just a big miss. Just as far as I'm concerned. And he had
Ah,
all those great actors in it, and it was just stupid.
the only highlight to that whole movie is Taylor Lautner, and that that's not even a good character at all.
I loved him in Grown Ups. I mean, as dumb as that was
Yes,
there,
yes,
in Grown Up, I guess it was Grown Ups too, out
yep.
there doing all his flips and shit, and it's like that's Lautner for you. But if you guys ever get a chance out there, all you Call Guys listeners, to watch an Adam Sandler movie, and I'm going to get it wrong because I always refer back to the Who song, but
Reign
it's
Over Me.
Rain Over Me. Yeah. Not Rain on Me. I
Yeah,
always say Rain on Me, but it's Rain Over Me. Uh it's not a typical Adam Sandler movie,
Not at all. No.
but it will bring you to tears every time. I mean, I don't care how many times you watch it. It is just the idea of what's going on in that movie. Very, very good dramatic movie, and get a chance to watch it. It's really, really good.
Yeah, him and Don Cheadle are awesome in that movie.
Yes.
It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, of course, I always love the other stuff that Sandler does, the Happy Gilmore, the Billy Madison. I'm not as big of a fan of Big Daddy as you are, but
Oh, I love Big Daddy.
it kind of grows on me after a while. But the grown-ups movies, I love those.
Yep.
That's a great cast too, by the way.
Waterboy.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's some high quality H2O.
H2O. H2O. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan. And also, unfortunately, Sarah does not ever want to watch the movies, so I
Oh
never get to
really?
watch them.
I One of his best is still Airheads, though, man. I mean, I know he's not the lead on that. I know. I'm looking over there and see that. I'm thinking that could be just Pip.
I
Could be
ain't
just
farting
Pip
on no
farting on the
snare
snare
drum.
drum.
I ain't farting on no snare drum.
Pip gets more bumper than a body shop.
How does he
Yeah,
do that?
it's the quiet cool.
Yep, such a good movie.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Anything
Um,
else? Anything else you've been watching?
yeah, here in about an hour and a half, and I don't know how I'm going to do this, but it's going to be on when I record the other side. The NFL draft is on tonight.
Hmm.
I'm going to be zoned into that.
The Bears.
Um, the Bear- yeah, I'm interested to see if they're going to take Caleb or
Oh,
not
they
as
have
number one.
to. They have to.
Yeah, there's not
I
much
mean,
left out
I
there.
mean,
Yeah,
there's no
yeah,
choice. You have
yeah.
to take him.
Did you? I saw on the news this morning their $4 billion new stadium that got approved. Did you see that?
I didn't.
That
That's
thing is, if I'm correct, and Colton, you can correct me. You can send me an email at goldenmojoent@gmail.com if I'm wrong. I believe they are putting that in the same spot as Soldier Field.
It says Lakefront Stadium, domed Lakefront
Yeah.
Stadium.
Do you see it? You got the rendition of it, man. That thing is
That
beautiful.
looks, yeah, and it's right there next to the Museum of
Yep. Uh,
Natural something.
yeah, yeah. I've been there. I just don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah, it is
That is
gorgeous.
huge.
Yes.
That puts Allegiant to shame.
Yeah. There's still no parking, and
Well,
which is,
yeah, that's true. They're gonna have to put a parking lot over the lake.
yeah. I like it because one of the highlights of where Soldier Field is at is that you can ride South Shore from where we are, and be
Pull
dropped
right
off
up.
right there. And if they do that, then I can see us actually going and checking out a game or two up there at the new field.
Hmm.
So um, I'm kind of excited for that to kind of play out and see what happens. And obviously it's not going to be right away. And if they're going to use it in the same spot, where is Chicago going to play while they're building that thing? And there's still a lot of questions yet what's
Mm.
going on there, but
Wisconsin, Green Bay.
I
They
doubt
almost have
that
to.
very much. I doubt that so much. I don't know that Green Bay let them. They're rivals, man.
There's got to be a college stadium they could play at.
Maybe they'll come down and play at Notre Dame.
Oh, there you go.
That'd be kind of
That's big
cool.
enough.
Yeah. Yeah, they got lots. Yeah, but then all those Bears fans would be spoiled by all those parking lots and all the tailgating, and they'd be
Yeah, I'm
like,
gonna
"What
be
the
like,
fuck? We
you
got to
gotta
go back
put
to Chicago back
you
in
gotta put a parking lot in there. At least put a parking garage underneath it or something.
Right, right.
If Bane show up and Hines Ward be running the ball back on a kickoff.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah, that's
good
funny.
stuff.
That's funny.
Good stuff.
But yeah, yeah, I did watch Hot Rod, did not care for it. So, all due respect to Jake, I love Jake and I love being a part of Perfectly Picked Games. And if you haven't gone to perfectlypickgames.com, you definitely should get yourself a subscription. Use the promo code Golden
Every time.
Mojo. What's that?
Promo cold.
Oh,
Promo
promo
code
code. Do you do it
Golden
too?
Mojo.
Or
Yes, every
is it
time.
just me?
Every time.
Um, yeah, it's promo code Golden Mojo, get 20% off.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, what a deal.
The thrill of
That's an
winning
amazing, yes.
and the grace of losing.
I love the
Great
ad. The
line.
ad is great, which you'll hear about it here in just a little bit.
Yes,
Yes.
of course. Oh, okay. So I haven't been watching really anything, unfortunately. The Rookie was on another hiatus, so we don't have a new episode of that until next week.
Well, you got
Mass.
your Mass Singer though,
Well,
right?
yeah, we
Yeah.
need to watch it. It just came out last night, so we'll watch it tonight. But um,
Oh shit, it come out. Oh, I've not watched last night's.
yeah, me neither.
I did watch last week's
Yes,
where
me
they
too.
had two eliminations, and for the life of me right now, I can't even think about who they were, but that's okay.
One of them was a rapper. He was really good,
Yeah,
and then the other one was I don't remember. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this season. I mean, I enjoyed last season too,
right.
but it's fun. Um, I'm trying to think. We didn't really watch anything this week. It's been kind of an odd week.
Right.
Um, but so yeah, next week maybe I'll have something new. Actually, we have Michiana Wine Fest, so as this airs, I probably hung over still. Golfing. I'm going golfing on Sunday with Lucas and Darren. Um,
Man,
we're
busy
going
weekend.
we're going to Rosella, which is where we're playing our scramble in May. So kind of get a first time I've ever played Rosella, so get a
You'll like it.
taste of it.
It's a really, really nice course. I played Roselle.
Yeah.
Really nice course. Well taken care of. You know, that's a big to do over there. I've
And
only played it one time.
if you want a cheap course and you live in this area and you want to go play some golf, it was like $49, which is cheap compared to we were talking about going to Max Welton. That's running about 69 right now.
Oh wow.
I think even McCormick Creek was running high 60s. So everybody wants to get out and play golf, so they're going to raise their prices, get people
Right.
pay more, and people will pay it. So
Yes, they will. And as the time goes on, it'll die down a little bit and they'll drop their prices.
yep,
So,
come late summer fall, it'll be a little bit cheaper.
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna do film news first.
Okay.
So let's get into some film news.
Film news.
All right. So on what was it? Wednesday, you picked Sophia up from daycare.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay.
Tuesday.
So Tuesday you picked Sophia up from daycare. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
home all day Wednesday. That's right.
Yep.
So as we were sitting there on the couch, we were talking about the Deadpool 3 trailer
Oh my God.
and well, the main Easter egg that we saw in the trailer with Ant-Man's dead body and how they
Yeah.
turned his dead body into a base and his helmet opens up as the door.
Right, right.
Um, but so yeah, they released oh gosh, this is probably trailer number 3
I think I
for
read
Deadpool.
three. Yeah. Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine, which comes out in July. Um, I know you're not a huge Deadpool fan.
I am not a big Deadpool fan. I did watch the first one. I never watched any of the other ones after that because it's just, to me, it was just stupid, violent killing throughout the whole entire thing.
A lot of
Um,
it.
yeah. I watched this trailer. It would have been Tuesday morning when it dropped or whatever. I watched it and I'm like, I think I'd like to see this movie because it looks like it's got some meat to it. It looks like it's got a nice little story and everything going along with it. And I'm stoked I want to see it. So
Yeah, I honestly am too. This trailer was great. It was a lot of stuff we've seen already, but they're just kind of giving us little tidbits here and there, and you get to see more of Hugh Jackman as
yeah,
Wolverine coming back, which is awesome. The suit he's wearing that everybody's wanted him to be in since he was Wolverine
right,
originally. And then just the fact that like you're gonna see so many different versions of him in different ways, like whether he's the gangster version or he's the old Logan or like there's just so many things that are going to come out of this. And then you got the TVA, and you got, Deadpool being brought in and telling, you know, I talked about this before, being like the TVA is kind of overworked at this point. I think it needs to go
Right.
away, but I think they're going to poke more fun at it than they are going to use it. So,
Um, in the trailer though, they really go back to the final Logan movie where he died, and they actually reference that, which I thought was really cool because you know as well as I do, when you start messing with this whole multiverse and bringing characters back who ain't really part of the universe that you were used to watching them in and all that, I thought it was a really cool idea for them to actually play into that he had died, he'd already died in the final what was supposed to be the final Wolverine style movie, but which I thought if you guys haven't seen that, it was a really good movie.
oh, so good.
Um so yeah, it's really cool to see him play into that. I did have one question for you though. I didn't get a chance to go look at it, but um on YouTube there was a thumbnail and it said Deadpool and Wolverine, but it had a picture of Spider-Gwen on it. Is she gonna play into somewhere along this line as a drop in or a cameo character?
I have no clue,
I
but
just
man, there's so much stuff that could happen. It's just stupid. And the thing with the Deadpool series is it's so fourth wall, and I mean, it's even more fourth wall than what She-Hulk was. And
right.
I think that they could really just about do anything they want to do. And I think they will. And I think that's what's going to make it good, is that they're going to poke fun at the things that have happened over the last 2 years. They're going to go out and they're going to bring in characters that we've never seen live action. They're going to, even if it's Emma Stone, like they're going to bring
Oh
in a
shit.
Gwen Stacy. They're going to,
Right.
if, I mean, maybe not even in this movie, but it's going
Oh.
to open up the opportunities to do stuff like that. And I think that's going to help them as long as they stop putting out so much content. So,
Yeah, let's get back to quality over quantity. And
exactly.
and I get it. I totally get it. You wanna fire while get while the iron's hot or whatever, strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah.
And that's what they did, with all the Avengers movies and Iron Man and Thor. Well, they really kind of shit the bucket on a couple of those Thor movies, but um
Two.
two yeah. Yeah, two good ones and two not so good ones. I know you guys love Ragnarok. I had to watch Ragnarok a second time to
Ragnarok
really
was
enjoy it.
great.
Yeah, I had
Love
to
and
watch it a second
Thunder,
time.
not good.
I got through it one time. I don't know if I'll ever go back and watch it again, but
Don't
I
do it.
love Natalie Portman, so I think
I don't
she's
mind her
great.
either.
Um, she was amazing in The Professional. If you ever got a chance to see that, it's a little more of an artistic movie, but man, what a great movie. A very, very young Natalie Portman. That's where I first seen her, and of course, she was in the Star Wars prequels and all that stuff.
Padme.
I love Natalie Portman,
I
and I
won't
love her.
disagree.
I love her SNL skits too.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Natalie. Yeah. Natalie raps.
It's true. But where were we? We were talking about, yeah, more quantity or quality over quantity. You're gonna get more people excited if you actually put out really good movies compared to putting out six okay movies.
Yeah. And 5 bad TV shows. And one good TV show.
One, yeah, you guys loved. I have not watched the second season of Loki yet, so
It's
just
good.
haven't had time. I was apparently spent my time watching Hot Rod, so
Yeah. And then you should have watched Loki over Hot Rod. uh, yeah. Excited. I'm excited. July. I don't have the exact release date, but it is sometime in July. So I'm
cool,
planning on seeing that opening weekend. I actually talked to Chris about seeing it with Guys with Issues, and then doing an
nice,
episode with Guys with Issues on that. So hopefully that comes to fruition here eventually.
very
So
cool.
opening weekend would be great. Um, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the opening weekend kind of gets a little bit rough sometimes when you're trying to squeeze everybody into one spot.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you this.
Oh, snap. Did you just steal that from Tucson?
What? What? This is
Call
a good
guy Steve
this
in Tucson.
this I was writing my notes last night and I was like, need a question of the pod. Need a question of the pod.
80s edition. Oh wait, no, shit,
Suck
wrong,
it,
wrong,
Colton.
wrong podcast.
So I came up with this just sitting there. This just came off the top of my head. So if you could be anywhere in the world, sitting back, drinking an ice cold beer, eating whatever you want, where would you be? What are you drinking? What are you eating?
You want to go first?
I do. I'll go first.
Okay,
Um, we're going on vacation this
we
year.
are.
We're going back down to Louisiana,
Oh,
going to the islands. I would love to be sitting in Jack's, drinking a Tin Roof Red and eating some, whether it's some gumbo, some Cajun food, whatever it is. I just have that itch to get down there and do that.
right.
And the nice thing is, I'm probably going to get to do that. So
You are going to get to do that. We will be there in August, hanging
even if it's
out.
not
And
Jack's, but it'll be
well, I mean,
okay.
Crescent City, Red Stallion, baby.
That's true. The Red Stallion's pretty good, but that
It
Tin
is.
Roof,
Yeah,
that was good too.
it was good. I'm gonna go. I thought about New Orleans. I'm gonna skip to a different vacation than we went on,
Hmm.
and I am gonna go to Galveston.
Okay.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that little shop that actually was like a pier that was out over the water,
Yeah, I
and
remember the pier.
you could sit there on the side of the building in those rocking chairs. And I did. This is exactly what I did. I sat there and I drank beer and I just stared out into the Gulf of Mexico. And it was just so relaxing and so surreal. And it was absolutely amazing. The one setback is they didn't serve food there. It was kind of like a little tourist trap, whatever, that sold beer, uh, you know. Um, but if I had to have anything, I would love to get some more of that barbecue shrimp that we had in New
Oh
Orleans.
yeah, that
So
that
if I could get that moved up to Galveston and just
that
have a nice big bowl of that sitting there.
peel and eat.
Oh, peel and eat, baby.
Yes. There's something satisfying and gross about peel and eat shrimp. It's satisfying because it almost tastes better. It's
Yes.
gross because you're peeling
It's it's staring
everything
at you.
off of these and it's staring at you.
It's staring at
But it's
you.
so good. So good.
Yeah, it's looking at
Um
you like, eat me, motherfucker.
my other one, yeah, yeah. My other one is Sarah and I when we went on our honeymoon, we went down to um the Keys. We went down to um the southernmost point and we actually
Right.
stayed at a resort down there. And unfortunately at that time Sarah had kidney stones really bad, so
Oh
we
yeah.
didn't get to do a whole lot. She was kind of not really immobile, but it was like let's just sit at the pool and hang out.
Yeah. Enjoy
Um
yourself and not,
yeah,
strain to get a bunch of stuff in.
which we did, and we did some stuff over there, but I would love to go back down to that place where we got that lobster pizza and then the elote pizza. It was like a half and half, and then drink some iguana bait and
Oh
just
yeah. Iguana.
sit there in the right, looking at the ocean and just hanging out. And that
Yeah.
was a blast.
That Billy Ray is a big fan of iguana bait. That is
It's so good.
he brought some back on their trip down through Florida. I don't know that they went down to the Keys or not. I can't remember,
I
but
think they did Key Largo, didn't they?
they might have, yeah. But yeah, he brought back some iguana bait, and I got to partake in one of those. And yeah, what an amazing beer! Very delicious, and
It's so good.
recommended for sure. If anybody ever can get some, I don't know
You're
how
ever
we can
down
get
in the
some up here.
Keys?
Yeah, you'd have to bring it back.
Well, our resort had it was a pretty big resort, but it had a bar and a beach, and then the pool was right there off the beach. And the bar served food from breakfast to dinner, and Sarah and I every night would go down there and have a couple drinks and have some food. And Jess actually, that was the best part. Jess actually got us vouchers for breakfast, so we had free breakfast every morning. We
Right.
go down there and have a
That's it.
mimosa or a tequila sunrise, and
Oh yeah. God,
God,
tequila sunrise in the morning. Ain't nothing like it.
nothing like it. Nothing like it at all.
Um, I'm surprised you didn't go for the street tacos. What was the street taco you guys had down there you really loved? Something corn.
Elote.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
elote. Um, yeah, that was the pizza. It was a
Okay.
elote pizza. Now I've had elote before. We actually had a Taste of Chicago.
Okay.
For the first time I ever had it there. And it was good there, but oh man, on a pizza, so good.
It was the bomb.
Yes.
Right on.
Oh yeah.
All right. So yeah, there you go. That's some good eating right there. I mean, that sounds like a lot of great foods. Gumbo, barbecued peel and eat shrimp,
Hey,
couple of
gumbo.
Coors Lights, or a guana bait, or maybe some bombshell blonde. It's real
Bombshell,
popular down in
yeah.
Texas. Or oh, being on Galveston, you got to have a little Fireman 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. It's a nice, thick, creamy. Um, I can't remember.
It's a
Is it
red, isn't
red?
it?
I think
Yeah,
it's a
it's a
red.
red.
Yeah, yeah. But it's creamy. It is absolutely delicious. I can't wait to get back down there and see if I can find one while we're there.
Why are all the red ales so good down in Texas?
I don't. They just do it right in
Tin Roof,
Texas.
Red Stallion, Fireman's Four.
Well, we like our reds up here too. A little. Oh, I can't think of any of them now. God damn it. I miss
There's not very many
Red
good reds
Dog.
up here. Yeah,
We used to have Red Dog was really, really good. Red Wolf was really good. Um, yeah, Killian's. That's what I was thinking of. We need to get our
Killian's.
Killian's up
Killian's is
here.
good.
Yeah, but I think you can get that everywhere.
Yeah, Red Stripe. But I don't think Red Stripe's really much of a red. It's more of a Pilsner or
Yeah, it's isn't it like a German beer or something?
yeah, sure.
I had to think about that. I thought it was an import type thing, but
I like beer.
yeah, Golden Mojo ENT at gmail.com. Call me out. It's all
Yeah.
good. Hit me up.
It's yeah, the call guys podcast at gmail.com. What's your favorite beer? Answer the question on the pod. Let us know.
Absolutely.
If you could be anywhere in the world, sitting back, drinking an ice cold beer, eating whatever you want, where would you be? What are you drinking? What are you eating?
Yeah.
It's a mouthful, but it's a pretty easy one to answer, I think.
I think so. I think everybody has that spot.
Yeah, yeah. I got multiple spots. We could be at the campground. We could be at the campground during a busy weekend out there, watching people drive by on the golf cart, just sitting on the deck doing nothing,
Eating Armando shrimp
eating
tacos.
Armando shrimp tacos.
Ah,
Armando's, if you want to sponsor the Call
oh,
Guys
please,
podcast,
please, dear God.
I will eat six shrimp tacos every episode.
Oh man, listen, I love your shrimp tacos, Armando's. I'm not sure that I could sit down and eat six of them.
Sure,
They
I
are
guarantee you
they're
could.
pretty filling, but they're amazing. I love them. They're actually open back up at the handy spot down on Center Street. If they have a trailer down there, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, when they're not at events, they're parked there. Swing in, get yourself some shrimp tacos.
And
Unbelievably good.
pretty much any busy holiday weekend out of that Jellystone and
Yep,
Pearson, they're going to be
absolutely,
there. So,
absolutely.
and they are those no joke, their shrimp tacos are probably the best around.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
All right, you ready to get what we're talking about?
We ought to get into this.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but before we do, here's a message from Jake in Perfectly Picked Games.
Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
All right, Emperor.
PerfectlyPickGames.com.
Perfectly Picked Games. Yes. Go check it out. Really. Go check out
Yeah,
Perfectly Picked
please.
Games. It's a
You're
great affiliate we have, and
not only you supporting the podcast and the podcast empire, but you're also supporting a really cool local um affiliate with them. So, and it's it really truly is a mom and pop organization.
Yeah,
Even though they're not like the old mom and pop, they're a young mom and pop.
young mom and pop. Use code Golden Mojo at checkout for
Yeah,
20% off your subscription. And yeah, like Jake says in that they're hand-picked games, and
yes,
he picks some fun ones. I've seen him play a couple of them. Yeah, he enjoys it. It's fun. Really cool.
yes. I love the idea of it. I think it's a great idea.
All right, are you ready for this?
I hope so. I hope I don't slaughter this.
You're not gonna slaughter. I don't think you'll slaughter it. I think Colton, I know you're listening to this. You would have slaughtered this, and it kind of makes me glad you're not here. So next week
Oh,
you can slaughter it a little bit, and that's fine. You've already kind of done it in past episodes, so I
yeah,
know
he
your
beat it
opinion
up
on the
pretty
show.
good last week.
He
I
did.
mean,
He
yeah,
did. But he did
yeah,
recommend it to Jake because Jake has watched the animated series.
right.
I've watched the animated series. The Emperor's watched the animated series. Colton has watched, I think, the first season of the animated series. So, um, by far one of my favorite cartoons of all time, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Netflix put out a live action. Um, this is, how many years after M. Night Shyamalan decided to put out a live action and completely brutally murder this series, this franchise, and obviously didn't get to go very much further with it because it was just absolutely terrible.
I'm
Um,
sorry. I'm sorry. Will you pronounce his name correctly? M. Night
oh yeah,
Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan. Sorry,
Shyamalan.
sorry, sorry, Jake. I know that said
That's
it
the
wrong.
best pronunciation I've ever heard of his
That
name.
was so good. I should clip that and post it on social media because that would probably get millions of views.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And you might even get a like from him. You never know.
yeah, yeah. He knows. He knows. Guaranteed. This show came out February 22nd. They released all 8 episodes at once.
Did.
The Emperor, the Rocker Chick, Sarah, and myself binge watched this entire show in a day.
Yes, we did. Which
And
I've never done before. Never that many episodes of a show in a day. But it
you did
was
it.
it was worth it. It was well worth it.
It was. I think it was too. This was created by Albert Kim. Tons of producers on these episodes. So, um, yeah. I do want to say that watching videos and just trying to get caught up because it's been a while since we've watched this. And
Absolutely.
the big thing with this show is that the original creators, which were some of the creators that worked on the animated series, they dropped out. They dropped out because they didn't like where the direction this was going. Um, I didn't know that when we watched this. Now that I do know that, I can obviously see why. It's definitely has some twists that aren't exactly, you know, ad-libbing off of the original.
Right.
But I think if they were there and they would have helped create the show, it would have been tenfold better. It would have been
Well,
absolutely amazing.
it's my understanding that the episode 1 and 7 they actually wrote, and
Yes,
that's what they put out. Yeah, was there too, and which are two of the better of the episodes. So
I
I
think it
mean,
was
I think
one
he's
in 1 and 6.
1 and 6. Okay.
Yes,
Um, I know that going through and watching some of the reviews and trying to recap what the show, because like I said, we watched it when it first came out. We did it in one day. I have not went back and rewatched it. Um, do I think that I would go back and rewatch it? Absolutely.
100%.
Uh, Now, as we get into this discussion, uh, I'm not going to be for everything. There's some stuff that I didn't care for, and we will talk about that along the way. But all in all, I really enjoyed watching it, and it's just yeah. We'll get into more of that as we kind of truck along here.
Yeah. Yes, we will. Okay, so let's just go. Let's start with characters because I feel like the characters in the show are definitely what makes the show, right? It's not the script, it's not the story, it's the characters. And there with Avatar as an animated series, you're not watching a human, you're watching,
Right.
a cartoon, that somebody has drawn and created, and you have to learn these characters and you have to fall in love with these characters, and seeing them as live action just completely changes the way that you see them. And I think the biggest part of this show is who they chose to cast and who they chose to make these characters out of. And I'm going to be completely honest, I think they did a really good job on most of them.
Yeah, their list of the main young characters that they got were absolutely they did an amazing job.
Yes.
Um, Once again, though, writing styles do vary, and there's some certain things that I didn't care for, and the way it was written. But as far as the all these actors, they did wonderfully, man. They really brought the characters to life, I thought.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So let's start with Aang. Aang was played by Gordon Cormier. Um, I guess just did you like him as Aang?
I did like him as Aang about 90% of the time. There was a couple times in where when he delivered the lines, or way the once again, maybe it was the way they were written. When he delivered them, it was kind of like, I don't know that that's the same as what I'm used to seeing. Uh, it's like, oh, well, we're going to go do this. And then boom, they were going to go do it. In the animated series, there was a lot of hesitation and a lot of thought process and a lot of stuff like that. And I know, once again, man, we're taking uh book one or whatever was 20 episodes long, and
Yeah.
we're shoving it down into, what is it? It was eight,
8.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 8 episodes, and you're going to try to get this full entire story into 8 episodes. And so you can't really dick around with this, that, and the other. So, you got to kind of go for it. But there's just a couple times where I was like, oh, I don't really buy that as him acting that out. Like I said, maybe it was a writing style. I don't know. But all in all, I thought he did a really good job. He definitely looks the part. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
they did a good job in the casting of that. So,
Yeah, I think he as an actor has the look of Aang.
yeah,
Um, but I also feel like the way they wrote him was nothing like what he was in the animated
in an
series.
anime, yeah,
There were points where he was serious and he was, kind of depressed. I mean, Appa gets taken from him for, half a season,
right,
and they spend that looking for Appa. Like that's a huge thing where he just kind of gets really depressed and he gets angry. This he's like angry the whole time. Like
right,
because they showed because of the Northern Air Temple or the Southern Air Temple, I can't remember exactly which one it is. Because of that and the way they show at the beginning, they kind of like played like he knew all about that the whole time. Like he was
right,
kind of angry. The first line he has in the animated series is, "Do you want to go penguin sledding with me?" And that's like you get to see his goofiness.
right
This
off the
you get
bat.
to see it like one time, and it's kind of disappointing because he's a kid. He's 12 years
Yeah.
old. He's gonna be playful and goofy. They made him more mature, which seemed kind of wrong to me, I guess.
I think that with the live action, they tried to make it a more darker side
Yeah.
of the story, by but still trying to keep true to the original story. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the way it was written and the way that he had to be delivered, you lost a lot of that. You lost a lot of that playfulness that he had. I mean, they tried to get it with the whole, him rolling
Riding his
around
air
on a,
ball.
yeah, air ball. But I mean, that was kind of it, really. I mean, you really didn't get much more of that. The other thing that really got me with the Aang character is, um, it's almost like he knows how to do all these things. He knows how to waterbend, he knows how to airbend, he knows how to earth. And in the animated series, he's trying to figure out how to learn to do all these things.
Hmm.
And I think it lost that translation in him learning how to do all this stuff. It's almost like he knows how to do it all, and they're just not really worried about him practicing and learning along the way. It's almost like he knows it.
I have told Sarah this ever since we watched this. I was so disappointed because in the animated series, Aang is learning waterbending in the first book. That's what he does. Katara is his teacher, quote
Right.
unquote, because she teaches him here and there, and then
Eh,
becomes his actual teacher later on.
But I mean,
But
but she's still learning too in the
yeah,
first
which
book.
yep, and even in the animated series, she's still learning.
Yeah.
She's not great in this she's not great right off the start. She kind of gets it really quick in this,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
an episode thing. You're squeezing all that in as you
Right.
said. But Aang water bends the entire first season. Like he's learning, he's doing it. He kind of shows up Katara a little bit here and there. This he water bends in the last episode.
Right. And it's
That's
just like, and
it.
it never practiced the whole entire time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You miss all of that build up to him learning it. Like they focused a lot more, and we'll get to this later, on the avatar state and him in the past avatars than they do with him actually becoming an avatar by learning all four elements. It's like they're taking the avatar state where he automatically gets all the knowledge from everywhere
Right.
and he can do all this stuff. It's like, okay, we don't need to train him because in the big plot points of the story, he uses the avatar state anyway, so we're just not going to give him bending. Like he doesn't need to learn how to water bend. He's going to do it when he's in the avatar state. We can just
Right.
skip all that storyline, which to me is the most important storyline for the entire show, is that
It-
he has to learn all four elements to master and become an avatar.
right. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough of Aang. How about Katara?
Everything seemed rushed, is I guess what
Oh
we're
yeah,
gonna put.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's go
Uh,
Katara and Sokka.
Once again, it just seemed like Katara was automatically a master waterbender and um, very serious about everything that she needed to get done and Sokka, I love Sokka as a character in the animated series. He was probably one of my favorite characters in the animated series because
Hmm.
he was so goofy and he was the monkey. I can't think of the monkey's name right off the top of my head.
The lemur,
Moku,
Momo,
Momo.
the
I should
lemur,
know
flying
the
lemur,
lemur.
monkey,
Yeah.
lemur. Yeah,
There was that always that back and forth between the two of them, which you only got like one instance of it where he lands on his head
yeah.
in the live action. But with Sokka, I mean, I thought that Ian Oosley did a great job being Sokka,
Mm.
but at the same time, I think they lost that uh kind of goofiness with him, and with Katana, Kat, Katara,
Katana,
Katara.
Katara.
I told you before these names just get me all messed up.
Yep, Katara.
Katara, once again, she is a 14-year-old girl who acts like she's 45, and just has like things happen and I think that loses once again that these are kids and they're on an adventure to save the world, but yet at the same time they're still having fun like they did in the animated series. And with this one, it's more focused on just the plot at hand. So
Yeah, you just miss out on all those moments where they go do something different, right? Like
yeah,
they're traveling and they're traveling across the world pretty much, and you only get to see them getting to the big moments, not all the little things they
yeah,
did in between, which is okay. I don't mind that. And they did mix a couple things together.
yes,
Like Omashu and the main Earth Kingdom. Which is like I said, perfectly fine with all that. My problem with Katara is she originally in the show was the little sister,
right,
and Sokka was kind of the more serious. Like, and then once they get a little further in, Sokka becomes a little bit more playful, which he is goofy in the start, but he becomes a little bit more goofy, kind of becomes comic relief, and Katara becomes kind of the mom of the group. And I think they started out directly with Katara being that mom of the group. Like
right.
she's trying to get them to do certain things. Like we don't need to do this. And I think their relationship as brother and sister is great in this. I think they did a really good job of doing all that. But I don't know that I loved Ian Oosley as Sokka, and I actually really liked yeah, I can't say her name.
Say it. You said
Q and
I
Co. As Katara, I think they were casted really well. I just think like we said before, the writing for the characters was just off a little
Yeah,
bit.
they were once again, we'll say this probably 100 more times.
Oh yeah.
We compressed 20 episodes into 8, and they did what they did, but I think they lost a little bit in that.
Yes. Yes. We don't have to hit one of my favorite one of my favorite characters from the animated series is Boomy, the kooky old man that was Aang's best friend when they were younger. And I don't even want to talk about him because they absolutely butchered that character in the show. It was terrible. Now the whole thing with him tricking Aang, which in the show Aang had no clue who he technically was at the time. I think it was more like he didn't realize that was Boomy. In this one, he knew it was Boomy, and they were trying to like resolve everything
Right.
because Boomy's like, "You left for blah blah blah." But I don't think they did this character right, and I think they did him completely wrong. And I wish that they would completely redo that whole part of the story because
Let's go back and let's just rewrite it and refilm
yeah,
it.
it was so bad. Love the character in the animated series. Absolutely hated him in this. So
That's you nailed it. I got nothing more to say about him than that. It's just like he's so angry, but at the same time you're like, dude, just chill. I mean, do you realize that Aang has been frozen in ice all these years?
yeah,
And I don't know
exactly.
what you're so fucking pissed about. You just relax, your friend, the one that took care of you back in those days, is back. Be happy about it. And
Yeah,
he's just so angry in this show about it. So, yeah, I just got nothing for that character.
yeah. Let's just do Zuko and Iroh, and let's do the Fire Nation kids and Iroh.
Okay,
And obviously Ozai, but I mean Ozai was such a small character in the animated series until season 3. He didn't really have a big role other than he completely burned his son's face.
right.
Um, but like Iroh and Zuko's relationship is just so important to the animated series. Iroh's played by Paul Sun Young Lee, who has been in pretty much every Star Wars thing that's come out in the last 5 years. Which I
Right.
love him. He's just that older. I don't know if he's Chinese or Japanese, but just that older guy that just is seems so lovable as a character. Played an amazing Iroh.
Oh,
Like it's so
absolutely.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing that they missed the mark on with him is his love of tea.
Yeah,
I mean,
the ginseng tea.
that was a thing throughout the entire animated series was his just sit down and have some tea.
Yeah,
Just sit down and have some tea. And they missed the
try some
mark
of
with
my
that.
nice ginseng tea,
They
Zuko.
missed it with him. Yeah. Uh, but other than that, though, I thought he's the wise uncle that's trying to
Hmm.
trying to lead Zuko into basically becoming a man and being able to take over the Fire Nation if need be, or whatever the case, whatever he's trying to do. Just make him into a man and less angry. But um, yeah, I think he did a great job, and this character is a good character to have along the way.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And there's a ton of things in the animated series with Iroh and Zuko, and the tea is the biggest one. Like at one point, he actually owns his own tea shop in the Earth Kingdom, and like he goes through and there's so much he does with tea, and it's always um oh gosh, Pai. I can't think of the game he plays. Pai Shay. I can't think of it right now, but it's one of those like tile games that they play.
Right.
And tea, always ginseng tea, and makes you love him. Like he cares about everything, and at the same time, he's just an awesome guy. Straight up,
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah,
he could
yeah,
do just
he's
about
he
anything.
is the lovable character in this show. I mean, he wasn't in the animated, he wasn't this one. He is the mentor that you would hope that you'd have in your life, period. And um yeah, I thought that besides the tea thing, I wish they would have played into the tea thing a little bit more
Hmm.
in this. But other than that, I thought he came across really well, and they did a good job. Of course, casting him,
Yeah,
was good, and
perfect.
the writing was good. So, um, are we doing Zuko?
Yeah. I think we should because I think those two kind of go hand in hand, and I honestly think Zuko was great.
I agree. I think Dallas, what is it? Dallas Liu?
Dallas Liu, yeah,
He come in and did an amazing job. He definitely brought that anger that
brooding teenager.
yeah, exactly. He did a great job. Once again, I think the writing of slamming all of this into 8 episodes took a little bit away from the actual storyline of his hate for Aang and why he's chasing him.
Yeah,
Because, by the third episode, they're saving each other, and it's like, it may not be the third episode. Sorry. I mean, I'm a little off my
that's
timeline, but
episode 6. Yeah,
yeah, but it just seemed like really early, they're saving each other and they're still mad at each other, but yet, they don't want each other to end badly. And I just when it got to that kind of stuff, it was a little tough to kind of partake in because you wanted more of that catch me if you can, type thing. He's right on his heels. He's right there, and Aang gets away, and so now
hmm
Zuko's got to go back on the hunt. Which way did he go? The game, the chess game that they played throughout the animated series just did not come through very well on
no, not at
this
all,
one.
not at all. Yeah, that's kind of the one thing that really pulls you in is that, Zuko wants Aang because he wants to restore his honor because his father challenged him and burned his face and pretty much sent him away and said, "Don't come
Right,
back until you find the Avatar," which at that point would have been impossible. Like Avatar was dead, they never got a new one that they know
right,
of, and they didn't get a new one because he was frozen in ice and he was still alive.
right,
So Zuko's whole storyline in the animated series is up and down, up and down. And so let's get into episodes because we talked about episode 6 and episode 1 both being the two episodes that the original creators
right.
made. So I want to jump to episode 6 since we're talking about Zuko. And that one's called Masks. And that is where we get to see that Zuko is a character that actually cares and he doesn't want people to know it, so he puts on the blue
Right,
spirit mask and he goes and he pretty much saves Aang from prison when originally he was going there to kind of scope it out,
right,
but he ends up saving him. So there's a lot of good in that episode because it's almost identical to the animated series, and like we said, that's because those writers.
right,
Um, episode 1 was entitled Aang, and that was the original where they go and they find him in the frozen sphere, and they missed quite a bit, I think, but at the same time, they did really well. There were a lot of cheesy kind of, let's just tell you exactly what the plot is of the
right.
show in our lines through this whole thing, which is okay. It's, yeah, they added in the complete destruction and genocide of the air temple
Uh-huh.
and actually physically showed people burning alive, which was kind of
Right,
crazy to me to see in a show like this.
right.
Especially because you would think it needs to play more towards kids.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but you are talking about, a show where a bunch of people with tremendous firepower,
yes,
just rule everything, and everybody's scared of them, and everybody's trying to hide in their own little corners of the world away from them. And I think you get a lot of that with the what is it, the Northern Tribe? Is that where oh Lord.
Northern Air Temple, where
Yeah,
Aang's
where
from.
Ahsoka and
Oh, we're Sokka.
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 Sorry.
Yeah, the Northern Water Tribe. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when he goes out to defend, he stands out there with his little blade. He's going to defend them all, and you just kind of get that idea that everybody's so scared of the Fire Nation, and here you have these badasses that he doesn't want anybody to know he cares, so he hides behind a mask, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just crazy. Uh, Daniel Day Kim plays the Fire Lord. What is it?
Ozai.
Ozai.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was interesting to see him play this character because God, he is in Hawaii Five-O. He was in Lost. He was always kind of that. He was never a bad guy character like this, and I think he pulled it off really, really well because when I watched it, I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah. The
And
goatee, the long hair.
yeah, I thought he did a great job. And um, I are we talking about the daughter too while we're here?
Uh,
Azula.
yeah, we can talk Azula.
Let's talk about the relationship between him and Azula. Once again, I don't know that they didn't really play in until later in the second season?
Azula didn't come in until like early in the second season.
Okay. So here we have them both shoved into this very first 8 episodes,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden now there's so much manipulation between the two of them and all this stuff going on. I yeah, I just didn't buy into it. It just seemed really forced and like I said, we're back to the chess game. Got to play the chess game right, or else it just doesn't seem like it's
Yeah,
proper.
yeah.
So I did. I don't know that I really cared much for. She was fine as an actress. I'm not saying that she didn't do a great job as an actress. That character I just didn't really care much for. But
Yeah. Yeah, their relationship was definitely off from the original. I think that you get a lot, like you said, you get a lot of that kind of dysfunctionality, which you
well,
didn't really get.
and she so much wants the power. She
Yeah.
wants to be the leader and wants that power, and it just shows. And I mean, and that to me makes a great actress in her to be able to show that to you. Um, I just, like I said, I just didn't quite buy into that whole thing as quickly as it escalated.
You didn't get that until the third season, where
Right.
she really wanted to be Fire Lord, and she wanted to take that from Zuko, who had eventually went back to the Fire Nation, and went back and he got to hang out with his girlfriend, which was May, which I thought was a great character. I thought her and Ty Lee were both really great, and you could really see what they get to do
Uh-huh.
as much. Ty Lee being the gymnast and May being like that really accurate. At least she would like throw stuff and be able to like it was kind of like bullseye, right? Like she
Right.
could hit anything. That's how she was. Just really talented characters that you didn't get to see use their talents, which was unfortunate. But you also don't get to see that really until season two. So
Right.
I mean, they started squeezing some things in that didn't need to be there.
Right.
But yeah, so I enjoyed Azula as a character in this. I don't think that I think that they pushed her story a little quick. Like you said, she wasn't really in the first season, so they didn't
Right.
really need to put her in there yet. I think they could have held off on those characters for a little bit.
Well, and think about this. If they would have held off on those characters, they could have expanded on
Hmm.
the Aang storyline a little bit more and the chess game that goes with that too. So
They really focused Fire Nation on this show,
yes.
which was different. I didn't mind it, but it was definitely more of a focal point than I expected it to be when we
Right.
started watching. So speaking of the nations, we got the Earth Kingdom. In episode 3, they head to Omashu, which is one of the big Earth kingdoms. Um, Honestly, this was kind of a disappointment to me. One, because Boomy, they
Right.
completely ruined that character, and two, they mixed the two Earth kingdoms together. So there's one, the engineer, which I can't think of what his name is right now, but he is a part, and they live at one of the air temples, I think, and Aang gets to see the kid on the glider flying, the handicapped kid flying in the glider, and
Uh,
his dad's the engineer that is the working secretly for the Fire Nation.
right. Is that the mechanic? That's
Yeah,
the
the mechanic. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He's played by a really popular actor too.
Danny Pudi.
Yeah,
Pudi. Previously on DuckTales. I might think that's what it says. Okay, there you go. But yeah, I had actually, unfortunately for me, he's a forgotten character.
yeah, yeah. He was, and in the animated series, he it's the same story. Like it's correct. Like everything he does, he's secretly working for the Fire Nation and spies, and he's creating all these the blimps that they
Yeah.
fly, the bombing blimps. So he's actually doing that in the animated series. This one they just tie it in a little too much, I think. So you get this the King Boomy storyline, you get his storyline, you get the storyline of him his son. It just kind of mixes and you kind of lose it. And you do get Jet and the Freedom Fighters, which was fun. Which was, I mean, I think that they did really well with those characters,
It
Pipsqueak and the Duke and all those guys.
was a nice relief. It was a nice little add-on relief in there. So,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But they mixed that into this same area. So it was
right.
like you're getting all three of these storylines, which were not exactly together, now are all kind of mushed in. So I feel like you kind of lose a lot of what's happening with those characters, but I don't know that it was terrible, but it wasn't
No,
great.
no, no, no. Like I said, it was a fun relief. I mean, it's a nice little it was a nice little add-on to kind of get that whole storyline. It wasn't a major factor. I mean, it did end up being a major factor because, they did help him build those blimps,
Hmm.
and in the end that you see him going, I think I helped build that, and
Yeah.
that's kind of a kind of a thing, but um. Yeah, the add-on of the Freedom Fighters was fun, and the turnabout between the gang and them and what they had planned compared to what they thought was right, and it was a crazy little twist that it kind of added a little bit that made it a lot more fun.
You didn't really get Katara's huge crush on Jet. You didn't really get like she had a huge crush on him in the animated series, and like it comes back into play later. And, like he comes back, and
Right.
they're like, "Remember when you had a huge crush on him?" And then it becomes a whole story. But um, the Freedom Fighters were good. The the whole thing with the mechanic and his son was odd and different. But like I said, I think it was good to see all those characters. I think it
Yeah.
was great that they were in it. I just
Well,
wish that
and
they would have kept a little closer.
once again, that's something you might hope to see later down the line.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So then we move on to Into the Dark and Spirited Away. Into the Dark being the one where they are going into the tunnels of Omashu, and you get the secret tunnel song, and you get a lot of the things where they're following the badger moles that are blind, and the earthbending. Now they did do a big twist on this with it not being Aang and Kantara in the tunnels, where they kind of you first see that they actually are in love with each other. Instead, you get the brother sister relationship with Sokka and Katara, where they have to kind of understand each other a little bit better as brother and sister.
Right.
Um, so that kind of takes away from that, but you do get to see the Secret Tunnel song and all that, which is really fun. And I mean, that's a highly quoted line with me and Sarah around the house, and we just kind of sing Secret Tunnel. But
As well you should.
yeah, um, Spirited Away was they go to a village that's being taken over by a panda spirit, and you also get to see who you were talking about earlier, which is George Takei
Right.
playing the face stealer, which I cannot remember the name of that
Uh,
character.
I have it right here. You just got to give me a second to get to it. Because I don't even honestly, I don't even know if I can pronounce it. Oh, it's Koh. Was it Koi?
Oh, Ko. Yeah, sounds
Ko.
right. Ko. Yeah. Yes. So you get that character, which was really cool because that's all spot on, straight out of the animated series.
Oh my.
Oh my. And then, like I said, the panda spirit, which that story wasn't as good, but it was kind of like a like if you watch that first season and you remember, you know that panda and the way it looked, and they just represented that in CGI so well as
Right.
compared to the animated series. So then we move on to episode 6, which is Masks, which I had talked about the Blue Spirit and Zuko being the Blue Spirit and all that storyline with him saving Aang, and after all this time of chasing him, he saves him and he gets away. Just an absolutely amazing episode. And then you get the kind of 7 and 8, I feel like are one episode together, just in two parts. It's where they're at the water tribe, and they are getting attacked by the Fire Nation. You get the Moon Spirit and the kind of the peace symbol. We have black and white and all that stuff going on there. And Sokka falls in love with um the girl. I kind of miss Kyoshi. I think we kind of
Yeah,
talked Kyoshi, but
well, I want to talk Kyoshi a little bit later, but yeah, we skipped over, I don't know,
Warriors. Nah, that's
yeah,
my bad.
Warriors episode, but that's okay. We'll talk about her in a little bit, but Princess
Yeah, UA.
Yue, see, I'm really bad with these names, guys. Sorry.
Yes.
Um, I remember in that was one of my favorite parts of the animated series was the pond with the fish and the yin and yang. I think it comes to me more because I'm a Pisces, and that is kind of our symbol as a
The
zodiac
fish.
sign. So I like that was brought into this series, and that was always an attraction for me. And I remember sitting on the edge of the couch going, looking at Gunnar going, there it is. There's the fish. There they are.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me like, oh man, what the hell are you so excited about? But I mean, I'm really glad that they brought that in and they kind of kept true to the fish being there and in that zodiac sign, the Pisces sign, or whatever, but the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
I completely agree. I think they represented that entire these two episodes represented the last couple episodes of the animated series so well, and it was like perfect. Even like down to the costumes. Like Princess Yue looked like her character.
Right.
Couple differences, but it was perfect. Um
S- some of the reviewers really were going after her wig pretty heavy though. They
yeah, that
were
was
they're like, what the hell? What was costume thinking about that wig? But, uh,
if you look at pictures from the animated series, it's very similar though.
is it?
Yeah, they did a really good job, and the wig is. I mean, I'm completely fine with that. I don't care about her hair. I just care about the character. You get her death because she kind of sacrifices herself. You get Aang's awesome, water bending monster that he
Right.
creates to take everything out. The battle between the Fire Nation and the Water Tribe is awesome. Like the last two episodes were great. I think this show as a whole had at least, let's see, yeah, episode one, episode two, episode six, maybe part of five, and then the last episodes. I think this had 80% of this show was actually good episodes.
Right. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's pretty
Like
much.
like I said, we're gonna nitpick on certain things, I knew that going into this. I didn't want to be like a complete cheerleader for it. I mean, there were some
No,
hit and misses on some things, and um, if you are a diehard fan of the original animated series, you're gonna find the things that went wrong with this live action. But all in all, I thought between the young actors that they went and got
mhm,
and the veterans which they brought in, and the way that they delivered and the amazing special effects. I mean, you're gonna have hit and miss on some of that stuff, but all in all, I think the bending, um, between the earth and the water, I mean, amazing CGI that they end up putting together for this, and I mean, you didn't feel like you were getting slighted on that side of it, I guess is what
not
I
at
want to
all.
say.
Not at all.
The backdrops, the just the amount of CGI that goes into putting all those boats out in the water, all the Fire Nation, and yeah, I thought they did a great job with all of that. Like I said, didn't feel slighted at that at all.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think even you mentioned water and earth bending, but even fire bending and water or air bending, like there are moments where you watch Aang fly and you're like, okay, that doesn't look great. but a lot of like the movements, and they actually took into consideration the fight styles that they use, and they went through training and all these
Right.
different arts, and it just was nice to see it come out and look right, and the elements moving with the characters, and that's where M. Night Shyamalan really missed it, right? It was like they did these complete dances, and then a rock would go like across the screen.
Right. Right.
Like it didn't look real, it didn't flow. This had the flow, this felt right. I think they did a really good job with all this.
Yeah.
And I think that honestly, I'm not gonna say this was a perfect show, and I understand like a lot of people are down on it because of the things they changed, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm gonna say right now I'm a huge fan of the animated series, but um obviously this is not better, not even anywhere near better
Right.
than the animated series.
Right.
And I'll watch the animated series 5 more times before I go back and watch season 1 of this.
Right.
But I think they did a fine job.
I agree. I agree with you 100% all the way through that. I think that I've only watched the animated series a couple times all the way through. There was always a, one or two episodes you kind of catch, but
Hmm.
I was excited for this to come out. I never watched the M. Night Shyamalan one
Hmm.
because everybody told me how shitty it was, so I
Yeah,
never
don't
took the
watch it.
time to go watch it.
Nobody,
Uh,
nobody out there in podcast land ever go watch a movie. Don't give that man any more money for that movie. He can make money off a Split and The Village and Sixth Sense and all that stuff. He can do that, and don't give him money for Avatar.
I'm not a fan of his, so yeah, I won't give him any more mine anyway. But I was excited for it, and I wasn't disappointed in it at all. I thought, like I said, everything, besides the little nitpicky shit that we've been kind of working through, all in all, it was a good story tell. I mean, you crammed it down to 8 episodes. You can binge it in a day. We proved that we can binge it in a day.
It can happen.
And still be excited for the last 2 episodes. We don't feel like we were drugged through the mud through the middle.
Nope.
So,
All right, well, let's
yeah.
nitpick it.
All right, let's
Let's
nitpick it.
nitpick it.
All
Just
right.
hear a little bit. I got a series of questions. You have these questions. I'm sure you've been looking at them, thinking about them, all that good stuff.
I've been trying.
So let's start with your favorite scene.
My favorite scene is when Aang goes to um yeah, once again, he goes to the warrior island, the
Kyoshi Island.
Kyoshi, yeah. And he goes and finds the ancient avatar and then channels through and comes in and kicks everybody's ass. I thought
And
that was one of my favorites. Obviously, I did talk a little bit ago about the pond. I loved how they brought back the pond and the fish, and it just looks so good. And so those are you get two of them. Sorry.
no, that's fine. I'm 100% with you on that. In the animated series, they didn't really do the whole like. I mean, Avatar Kyoshi took over his body and came out and completely demolished everybody that was in Kyoshi Island. And
Uh-huh.
so it was physically her there as Aang, and then when it was over, Aang was
It was
back as himself.
right.
I think that was an awesome way to portray the way that he can, you know,
Channel.
connect and channel with
Right.
past avatars. And Avatar Kyoshi is the one avatar that says like killing is fine. Like I had to do it to make things right. She killed one of the conquerors because like she had to do it because it just made everything back to normal.
Right.
Like the way that she is now, her character was kind of like you can do that. It's fine. And then she like yells at him and he gets upset. But the way she takes over his body and she goes out there and she takes out General Zhao's crew, I thought was great. And I think you're right. I think that was one of the best scenes in this show. And
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job with that.
Absolutely.
I'd give you a second one. I would say um man, I don't know. I think maybe the where the freedom fighters are trying to take out the mechanic because they think he's the spy,
Right.
which I mean he technically is, but
Technically, they were right.
like like they load up his briefcase with that explosive jelly, and then like they all have to go in and stop. and Katara kind of has a big hand in that. But
Right,
I think
right.
that's a really cool scene.
Like I said,
Uh,
that whole little area was well done with the freedom fighters and all that
yeah,
stuff. It was
yeah,
really good.
yeah. I think the kid that played Jet was decent.
Yeah, he was likable. I mean, you wanted them to be together. It's like, oh yeah, that's how you felt about it. It's like they're perfect together,
Yeah,
and he's just so charming. But he's a snake. Oh wait,
yep.
no, I don't
He's a snake,
know.
slithery snake. Who was your least favorite character?
Well, I mean, simply, easily, it was Boomy. I did not like Boomy at all in this show. I don't remember him in the animated series, to be honest. Like I said, it's been forever since I actually watched it, so I don't remember him being in there. I did not like him. I thought it was uncomfortable. The voice and everything was just terrible, and they could have wrote that whole section out, and that'd have been just fine.
They should have written it better. They should have casted a better actor. I don't know. Utkarsh Ambudkar, yeah, something like
Right,
that. He
right,
played King Boomy. Um, I enjoyed Boomy as a kid more than I enjoyed Boomy as an adult,
absolutely.
and I think they ruined that character. So I completely agree with you. Did not like that character.
Yeah, they could have wrote it
Yeah,
completely out and
yeah.
just called it a day. Yeah, for sure. Gunner,
Favorite?
Chico, who's
What?
your favorite character?
My favorite?
Yeah,
This is gonna be kind of a surprise. Um, well, okay, I'll give you my main storyline character is Iroh. I think Paul did a great job. I think that he was written really well. They missed a lot of things with the T and
right.
the fact that he's pretty much playing the father figure for Zuko. They get a lot of that, but they don't hit it exactly on. One of my favorite characters in this is Lieutenant Lee, who is the head of Zuko's crew on the ship.
Okay,
Which they go back and explain later how that whole thing goes back to where like Zuko actually saved them
right.
and then they were put on his crew. Um but yeah, I kind of like that character and I don't know why. I just think that he was so back and forth and once he figured out that Zuko saved them from being, dismissed from the Fire Nation, like he was like, okay, I'm gonna be a better
My yeah, my
lieutenant.
allegiance now. I know where
Yeah,
everything lies. I'm not going to be pissed off at him and resentful that he is now supposedly our leader and telling us what to do.
yeah,
The with that storyline coming to a completion, you got that. Oh, he really does care about us enough that that's why we're here with him, and
yeah,
we've totally disrespected him this whole entire time, and
yeah,
and we need to be better. And yeah, I agree. I like that. I like that. I'd forgotten about that. All that. Um, Mine was my favorite character was let me if I can see if I can get it right. Is Suki,
Suki, yeah,
which was
yes,
the leader of the
Kyoshi Warriors.
Kyoshi Warriors. Oh man. Listen, I did watch these movies. Or watch these shows, I promise. I'm just really
Yeah,
bad at
I know
names.
you did.
Uh there was just something about her character in this show that I just loved. And unfortunately, you got her for one episode, pretty
Yeah,
much in the Warriors episode.
she'll be back.
I hope they bring her back, and I hope it's the same girl that Maria Zhang. I'm
Hmm.
gonna say that. I hope it's her that comes back. She did an amazing job. Um, but like I said, it was such a short little piece, though. I mean, it really wasn't a main character along the way, but I just liked her, and I liked that storyline, and and I was going to bring this up earlier, but I wanted to wait till we got here. This is Sokka. This is the one you want to see him with. This is the
Yeah,
one that you want him to end up with, in the end. And his jumping around. I'm in love with her, and then I'm in love with the princess, and it's kind of like, come on, dude, just quit falling in and out of love so fast in
the
6 episodes.
the big thing in the animated series is that they leave Kyoshi Island. He doesn't think he'll ever see Suki again. Like
Right, right,
he's under the understanding that he'll probably never see her again. So um when he does meet the princess, instantly is like fall in love with her.
right,
Which obviously doesn't last very long. But then so many fans loved Suki and the Kyoshi Warriors characters that they wrote him back in around the time where Appa went missing. Appa was
right,
stolen and Aang is looking for him and they find Appa and they take care of him and they get the whole storyline with Appa and Momo and how Momo actually is like has the feelings of missing Appa because he's gone,
right.
which is super that whole storyline is really good. But yeah, I agree. Suki is a really good casted character in this.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, she was my favorite.
So would you say that was your favorite depiction in character?
Absolutely, absolutely, because I remember liking her so much in the animated series too, and it was super excited when they did come back later on, and all that. So yeah, I thought that they did a great job with her working with Sokka and teaching him and doing all that kind of stuff. And didn't she like give him a fan, one of her fans or
Mm-hmm.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, best part of the whole entire show right there.
I think the best depicted character was probably Ko. Was the face stealer. I
Yeah.
think they did that character really well. The way that he would like come up into your face into Hank's face and change into the baboon or change like those are spot on references to the animated series. And you get the whole thing with how he stole one of the avatars loved ones' faces and how that one went crazy and all this stuff. And yeah, I think the spirit world was depicted really well, but I think Ko was really good.
Right on. Very good. What's the next one? Favorite adaptation from the animated series?
Which I
Is that what
think
we just did?
we did depicted character adaptation. I mean, eh, what is there a certain place that you remember from the animated series that really stuck out to you in this? Is there anything like that?
For me, no, because it'd been such a big time span between the two, so I don't know that I'm connecting as well between them. So I can't really tell you that, that I got some favorite part of that. So go ahead. I'll let you answer it, and I'll agree with you.
I honestly think about every set in this was depicted well. I think the spirit world was good. I think the village was good for that part. I think even though they mixed the two Earth Kingdoms, I think that they did really well with like the transportation system for mail and all that. I think it all looked right. Um, the water tribe that Sokka and Katara are from looked really good. Even the other water tribe was good. So I mean, I think overall they did setting really well.
Right
So
on.
I don't know that I have a favorite adaptation for a place. Um, but the storylines, I think you're right with the water tribe. I think with the moon spirit and all that, I think that was
Right.
depicted perfectly.
Oh, see, there you go. That would have been that. That's what I should have thought of. And
Yeah,
I said it like four times earlier. So yeah, no, love the pond.
yeah. So what was bad? What was bad?
Oh, what was bad was is we lost a lot of the youth of the characters and that fun, like you said, the first thing Aang is you want to ride, you want to go on penguin rides or
You wanna go
sledding
penguins?
penguins.
Yeah,
Yeah. You lost that and you lost it with Sokka and you lost it with Aang and that's what was bad. You lost some of that lovable part of those characters and with them being so serious and so mission oriented.
yeah. I'm gonna agree with that. I think that you're right. I think you lost a lot of what these characters actually are because they tried to make this a more serious show. This show didn't get serious until later seasons. They right off the bat started completely taking out a nation and they went through and Aang goes into the water. I like that they showed us Aang's backstory early.
Right. Right.
I think that helped and just us to get to know Monkey Atso and just some of those characters that are really important to Aang. But I think you're right. I think they took the childishness out of him, and that did not help the story.
Right.
I think that actually kind of made it a little bit worse. So,
Well, it didn't give you that. It didn't make you feel more connected to those characters. Um, that was the thing with the animated was is you grew to love the characters and you kind of
mhm.
you saw what you how you connect with them. That I could see myself doing that, or I could see myself doing that, and you kind of lost all that with just the seriousness of we have a mission and we got to go accomplish it right now.
Yeah. And it was like, we got to go accomplish this. Then the beginning of the episode, the beginning of the next episode, they're right where they need to be somehow.
Yeah,
You
weird
missed
how that works
all
out.
of
Yeah,
that in between.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly.
we kind of already talked about Aang in the Avatar state, in our favorite parts of the season. Um, do you have any predictions for what they're gonna do? And then on top of that, who do you look forward to seeing in future seasons? Their
Um,
particular character.
okay, so real quick, I do want to say that my favorite part, uh, one of my favorite parts is the whole Appa thing,
Hmm.
and I thought they did a really good job with Appa, and I had a spot to put in into this list of where I wanted to put Appa, but um, what an amazing job they did with putting together the CG or however they did it.
Yeah,
Uh, Appa is very realistic. I was concerned about that going into this. I didn't know how that's going to play out. They did an amazing job with that, but I just wanted to throw that in there. I don't really have any predictions, because I don't. I think that if they would kind of pump the brakes a little bit and settle the story down and bring in book two and try to keep a little bit closer to the original, I think they're going to have a lot more seasons to go because then they can play off of that. If they want to do 8 episode seasons, that's fine. Split book two up into 3 pieces or
mm,
whatever the case may be. Just take your time with it. Don't rush it, just trying to get it out.
yeah.
Let us enjoy the characters and enjoy the storyline and not feel like, what the fuck did we just end up at? How did we get here? And how did she get to be the head of this portion of the army? And there's so much stuff that just happens so goddamn quickly that we lost the avenue of what a great story it is. So I don't really have any predictions. What's your predictions?
Um, I mean, there's a lot where they travel back and forth between certain places that I don't know how they're gonna work out. Earth kingdoms and stuff like that, where they've done things in the past. I don't know. Um, my biggest prediction is that Aang and Katara are not gonna have the relationship that they did in the animated series, just because um Aang is so much in the way that the looks are. Aang looks like he's so much younger than what Katara actually is.
Right, right,
Which, I mean, actually, the actor is much younger, I'm pretty sure, than the actress that plays Katara. But um, they didn't show that really at all in the first season. So I don't
right.
know that they're going to play it off, which is fine. But, I mean, that's kind of my prediction. But I hope they do because they end up getting married and having, a bunch of different little airbenders running around. So,
They have
um,
little avatar children.
yeah. So that's kind of my prediction is that that relationship's not going to go anywhere, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to seeing? What do you look forward to seeing as a character in the future seasons?
I think that's an obvious answer, and that's Toph, the blind earthbender.
Oh man, that's mine. You
Yeah,
can't take that one. That one's
because
mine.
she is such a great character, and I feel like she was my favorite character in the animated series when they finally showed her. She was the child of a rich family, and she just wanted to go out and be a kid, and they kind of kept her in because she was blind. They protected her, and she
Right.
eventually escaped and learned how to earthbend from the badger moles, and just her story is so great. And she is such a tough character, and she's so ornery, and it's just one of those characters that you just love because she is that way. And I really hope they do her well because
I, okay, so 100%. I didn't know her name, but I knew that I wanted the blind airbender,
Earthbender.
earthbender. Um, you hit it on the head. She 100%. She comes into their group and she basically just kind of, I don't want to say bullies, but just
She bullies.
harasses Aang
Twinkle
until he
Toes.
until he gets his bending correct.
Hmm.
And she shows him up, and they're all freaked out because she's blind, and they're like, how is she doing all this? But she's such a great character. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's funny because we both say this, that we both want her to come, that's what we're looking forward to. They're going to ruin her because we're actually looking forward to her.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Well, because they, once again, we talked about this whole entire episode. They've taken away that kind of that childish play. They took away the fact that Aang is learning as he goes. He's meeting different people, and he's learning from them along the way about how to do all of the different elements. And
You
you
didn't get that
know,
all?
he didn't get any of that, and that's what she brings to the table is the earthbending, and training him to do that. And unfortunately, I think that if and when they bring her in, I think they're going to ruin it by just making her kind of a stale character. But
She's gonna be
I hope they
Velma.
don't. Huh?
She's gonna be Velma from Scooby Doo. I need my glasses.
Yeah, well, let's think of a cartoon Velma with the little legs.
No, you're right. I hope they don't mess up that character, but I just enjoy her. And she starts out, like I said, she's the child of a rich family, and she's out there doing like street fights against the boulder. The boulder doesn't like when you show like that macho man type. And she beats them all because she's such a good airbender, because she learned from the first, or earthbender. You got me saying
Yeah,
airbender.
sorry, man. That's all right. It's a
She's
slip.
she's so good because she learned from the species that created it.
Right.
It's just it's a it's an awesome story.
Yeah, and hopefully they don't mess it up, and hopefully they bring her in and do it right.
Yeah, they will bring in Toph. I have no doubt in my mind that Toph will be a part of it.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what they do with it. I'm excited for the next season. Like I
I am
said,
too.
the actual CGI and all that stuff that goes with it was amazing. They did a great job. If you haven't seen it and you are a fan of the animated series, go watch it. Don't be afraid. There are some things you're going to be disappointed in, and so on and so forth. But they did a really good job, and it's visually stimulating and exciting, and there are some good parts to it, and you'll enjoy it.
I have recommended it to everybody that's asked me about it, and I've said yes. You need, if you love the animated series, you gotta watch it. Um, Now we're telling you that it's not perfect. It's nowhere near perfect. Like if I was to rate this, I would give it like a 68, right? Like it's not great. It's not perfect. It's good. It's fun to watch.
Yep.
The casting's great. Some of the characters are portrayed really well. Some of them are not. Um, the story changes up. There's a lot of different things. There's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot to kind of scoff at and say, yeah, that was okay.
Right.
But I think it's worth the watch if you're a fan. And I think they did a really good job with what they had and what they did and the creators that were a part of it, even though some of them dropped out that would have made it even better.
Right. Right.
I think they did well enough that I mean, season two's, I'm gonna probably binge it in a day again. So,
Oh, well, you got to call me. We'll come over and we'll just do
yep,
it together. We'll do it. We'll run it again together, back to
run it
back to
back,
back.
run it back.
Run it back. Three-peat, baby.
Yeah. Well, Emperor, you got anything else you want to say about Avatar: The Last Airbender and Netflix?
No, God, if we didn't cover it in this episode, I don't know. what else there would be that I mean, we didn't really, I do take it back. We didn't really touch on, um, the main antagonist who actually kills the moonfish.
Oh yeah, yeah. Admiral
We,
Zhao.
yeah, we kind of like really skimmed over him. He was a major part of the,
He was.
of this series. I didn't care for his character because he was kind of a squirmy, fishy ass,
Yeah.
and uh, kissing ass on one side and stabbing
And
you in the
th-
back on the other, and
and the unfortunate part is they depicted his character so well. Like they did Admiral Zhao really well in this show.
yeah,
I didn't really like Ken Leung as him, I guess. I don't know if like
I get
the
that. I get
acting
that
wasn't great or what, but they wrote him really well. They wrote him pretty close
exactly
to
the
what he
same.
was
Yeah,
in the show. So
yeah. I can't believe we kind of skimmed over him in all
yeah,
this
it
because he
was
was kind of a main antagonist in this whole thing.
yeah. I had him on the list. I just skipped him. But
Well,
yeah,
Chica, you know what it's like when you get on a podcast with me. You're just gonna talk for an hour and a half,
that's okay.
and we might miss some things along the way. But yeah, go check it out, enjoy it, and enjoy it for what it is.
Yes. Oh yeah. All right.
And
Well, I gotta get the Emperor out of here because he's got to go record another podcast this evening. So,
it's true.
um, I appreciate you coming on and taking
I
the place of my counterpart.
and Colton, I hope you're feeling better. I know you
Yeah.
were down and
Yeah.
out, and I hope you get to feeling better. I know that you're not alone in this, man. I've been stuffed up all week.
Sarah's
Um,
sick.
Sarah's sick. A lot of people around me are, just kind of falling into this weather change bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Indiana. But I hope you get feeling better, buddy, and get back next week for the next episode
The
of The
next
Call Guys.
installment of the Call Guys podcast.
What is your next installment?
Oh man, I don't even know. I'm gonna have to go look at the list.
You guys got some big things coming up with Power Rangers.
Yes, we do. Us and just Logan and we've talked about this in the past. Logan runs Wild Force New Frontier and Ranger Reach Out, which are two Instagram pages if you want to go check them out. I'm pretty sure that's what their tags are, is Ranger Reach Out and Wild Force New Frontier.
Hmm.
Go check those out because he does some really cool stuff in design for different Power Rangers characters. And
Uh-huh.
then the Ranger Reach Out was back when Jason David Frank took his own life, and
Yeah.
he created that page and got a huge following from that. So we're doing this to kind of reach out to their that group of people. And Logan really loves Power Rangers, and I grew up loving Power Rangers, and I know Colton did too. So it'll be a fun. We're gonna do a 3-part series where we're gonna talk about 3 different movies, and it's gonna be in the Rotten Ranger series. So um, hope
Well,
you
and
all.
don't forget the Skywalker will be joining you for an
Yes,
episode.
he will be on for Mighty Morphin.
Yep.
And then we're gonna cover 2 others. At the moment, I cannot think of what they are, but yeah, we'll get to that when it comes along. Here in the next within the next 10 episodes. So
And of course, if you are a Power Ranger fan and you are looking forward to this, what you should do is go to goldenmojoent.com and scroll over to the merch page, go down to the call guys and check out their specialty parody uh Power Rangers t-shirt.
yes, they did a great job creating that logo. Looks
Yeah,
really
that
cool.
Just Logan did an amazing job putting all that together, and yeah, very impressive with the Call Guys logo in the middle of the diamond that is the Power
Hmm.
Rangers symbol, and he did an amazing job. So
And if you don't make it to the merch store and you listen to the pod or you watch the pod on YouTube, when you watch those episodes, we will be wearing our shirts. So
yeah,
if you want to see what they look like, it's similar
well,
to what we were wearing, but
they are different.
yes, ours are kind of special edition. But
What you guys are extremely special edition,
yes.
because they were I hate to say it, they were extremely expensive to make,
Hmm.
and yeah, if there's a lot going in it. But if Call Guys listeners want the special edition ones, give me a shout and we'll work something out to get something done if you guys like them that much. But they are a little expensive because of the shirt material, because of the multi prints that are on it. So we didn't release them to the public just because we didn't think we
Anybody
wanted
want to
to
spend
try to
$100
charge
on a
that much.
t-shirt?
Yeah. But the other ones do have your guys' logo right on the
Yes.
chest plate, and they do look amazing. Go check them out, goldenmojoent.com.
.com.
.com.
Yes. Exactly. All right. So want to thank everybody for listening to the Call Guys podcast. You can always find us wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. And then go check us out on all your favorite social media sites, Facebook at facebook.com/thecallguyspod, Instagram at the Call Guys, and TikTok at the Call Guys Podcast. Also watch us on YouTube. You can just search for the Call Guys Podcast or click the link in the description to go to our YouTube page. Please like, subscribe,
Click that
click the
bell.
bell. Yeah, get
Click that
notifications.
bell.
Punch it. Notifications every time we post an episode. Every Monday. Every single Monday. Also, Tusop did a series on Meet the Hosts.
Oh yeah.
Has been, on and off here for the last month or so. You had
Three
all three,
months.
3 months.
3 months. We did of course we do the other side. Me and Just Logan do the other side at the end of the month where we review all the cases from Tucson. And then the second Saturday of the month was the interview. So yeah,
Yes.
we've had the Rocker Chick, mine, and J Dubs. We are
Yes.
getting ready to record next week. I think it's next week or maybe it's the week after. We are recording
Frankie.
Frankie Vegas is
Recording
interviewing
Just
Just
Logan.
Logan. Yep.
Yes.
So sorry, I had other things because Golden 80s next week we'll be recording with Chico coming in and doing the Back
Oh,
to the
yeah.
Future series, which I'm excited
We're
about.
going to go back
Back.
to the future. Back in the Wayback Machine.
Way, way back.
No, but as I was saying, they did the Meet the Host, which was a really cool series. So Colton and I have decided to have Logan interview us for some special Friday episodes here,
Oh,
coming up within the next couple months. So look forward to that. Logan does a 21 questions, and just kind of you get to know us a little bit better. So it'll be a good time. I'm excited for that coming up here. But when you are done listening to the Call Guys podcast, you can always go to goldenmojoent.com, check out the merch store, check out all the other podcasts under the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts. They're all on there. Golden Image Podcast, the United States of Paranormal Podcast, Order Books and Booze, Murdnerds, Indiana Chiefs fans, and the Golden 80s. You can go check out all those podcasts, whether they're past episodes or you want to leave reviews, anything like that. Please go check them all out. Give Golden Mojo ENT your love.
yes. Please support the pods. Please support all the pods. I mean, everybody works really, really hard to get episodes out every week, and it's how do I put this? It's a lot more work than most people think it is. You just don't sit down in front of a microphone and talk for an hour. There's a lot of research and a lot of time invested off the microphone, and we would sure love the support. I did get to talk to ISO Cam today as he was supporting his new Call Guys t-shirt. Just amazing stuff like that. We appreciate that. And yeah, go check it out. Golden Mojo ENT. Help support the pod.
Yeah. And also check out Perfectly Picked Games, perfectlypickedgames.com.
Absolutely.
All right. Emperor, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. For all those out there in podcast land, see you next time.
Later. Hasta la vista, baby.
Baby.
Read with you later.
Secret tunnel.
Keep it spooky.
Secret tunnel.
See you on the
Secret
other side.
tunnel.
The Call Guy.